First and foremost, let me start by saying I'm sorry. I deeply apologize that this video blog is going up so late. It is mainly due to one of the worst experiences at a hotel that I have ever had in my life. So if you are in the St. Louis area ever, do not stay at the Quality Inn located on 10232 Natural Bridge Road. I am still in touch with management trying to resolve this issue, and I'm also still in touch with the Better Business Bureau, who has informed me that prior to this incident, the hotel has already had an F rating. So please, guys, if you're ever in this area, do not stay at this Quality Inn. I'm going to give it the big referee sign of trouble, throwing up the big X. Do not stay at that hotel. Moving on, it's been a while since I recorded some footage. What I tried to do with this video blog entry is I tried to videotape some of the questions that you guys sent and incorporate it with one of my travel days, traveling to a show, actually performing, and then traveling home, just to give people an insight on what some of the wrestlers go through. Unfortunately, that didn't work out too well. I still got a lot of learning to do with this whole video thing, but I'm still using some of the footage that I videotaped during that travel experience. So I'm going to try my best to make that into a little music montage video, or I'll just put one clip after another unless Red shows me how to do it. But in that video I do answer some of the questions that the fans sent in to me to my email address, which is thelethaljay@yahoo.com. But I didn't answer in the video the main question that I kept getting over and over, which I will answer after the video is done. So after the video is done, you'll see me right here once again, and I'll get to some of the questions that just kept coming up, mainly questions about my departure from TNA. So I hope you like this video, and I'll see you in a second. For my pro wrestling prestige debut. So this should be interesting. I'm going to finish getting ready and then I'll get to some of you guys' questions. Alright guys, my ride will be here in about 2.5 minutes, and that's just enough time to answer one question. So, what was it like to get to meet and work with the legend Ric Flair? Easiest question. I've answered this one plenty of times. My time with meeting and getting to work with Ric Flair was some of the greatest moments of my life. Ric Flair has been Ric Flair. I mean, Ric Flair is a legend. Ric Flair is professional wrestling. I believe that most people who are wrestlers grew up watching Ric Flair. I mean, especially from my generation. The big woos and the chops and the figure fours, I mean, that helped shape their love for professional wrestling, much like it did mine. Although I did have a couple things in mind, I mean, I did understand that some guys didn't have quite the experience with Ric Flair that I had. I mean, there are a lot of horror stories out there where certain guys are trying to meet Ric Flair, and I guess he's drunk or not in a good mood. And I mean, it's easy to catch somebody on a bad day, but I wasn't too nervous about getting to meet him. He was so, oh man, I don't even know what the word is that I'm looking for. So accepting, so to speak, which is a cool thing in my mind. I mean, I get to share a locker room with guys like I did, Kevin Nash, Sting, Brother Ray, Ric Flair, Kurt Angle. And it's funny because I watched these guys on television growing up, And now these guys are treating me as their equal. We're laughing, sharing jokes, sharing the same locker room. But still in the back of my mind, I'm kind of excited to get to work with them, kind of marking out, kind of, so to speak. Because I watch these guys on television, and it's just unbelievable to get to. If you would have told me back then that, hey, you're going to be in the locker room sharing jokes, sharing laughs with Ric Flair, Kurt Angle, I would have laughed in your face. That was the easiest question to answer. I've answered it plenty of times. Getting to meet and work with Ric Flair was, so far to this point, the highlight of my life.
Just met today by the name of Joey. Joey, what's your last name? Joey O'Reilly. And before I met him, the promoter kept saying, I got this guy who looks just like Amazing Red. But I don't really see it. I mean, you have red hair, kind of. But I mean, Red is my best friend. I don't really see it. And he's kind of soft-spoken. You talk way too loud to be Amazing Red. But nonetheless, this is one of my opponents today. He's big baby face in the area. And Joey, how can the promoters get a hold of you? Do you have a website for bookings or a special email address?
Yeah, I have a Facebook.
Facebook. What's the address?
It's Joey O'Reilly.
Joey O'Reilly.
Very easy to find.
Very easy to find. Just search Joey O'Reilly in Facebook. And that's it. You guys can write in, tell me whether or not you think this guy looks like Amazing Red or not.
For the record, I do like Amazing Red's hair though.
He does have some fantastic hair, doesn't he? I tell him that all the time, but he doesn't believe me. All right, guys.
Get ready to lock the door. Shoot the promo.
Lock it.
We need Coy to yell quiet on the set.
Don't you want Brady out there? He's got
While they're getting ready, it seems that Podcast Mania or media is sweeping the globe. I mean, everybody's got a podcast, everybody's got a YouTube channel, and it makes sense that I would run into somebody here who also does the same thing. And it is this man here who is my opponent, one of my many opponents today. I'm going to name him the man with the sweetest punch because he has a very nice right hand that he used to eliminate somebody with in the Battle Royal today.
Right in the face.
What's the name of your show?
All you can eat with the Kentucky Buffet.
All you can eat. And how do the fans get there? How would they check that out? Where would they go?
You can find it on YouTube.
I'm a promoter, by the way, as well.
You promote like
I'm
a show, or you just promote?
Well, I'm helping you promote.
I appreciate that.
Oh, good.
This is gonna help me get hits.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
High five.
You go ahead and tell the people.
You can find it on YouTube at Unauthorized IWA 1. You can also,
I'll put a link on the bottom.
I appreciate that. You can also find it.
Modern technology.
Find me tweeting about it on Twitter at Proud Caucasian, or my tag partner at
yeah.
This Is a Travesty.
Get yourself over. Oh,
I try. I have to take. You give me an inch, I take a mile.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
So we're gonna keep filming, and we're gonna actually start his show, and both our shows are gonna be going at the same time. So Alex, whenever you're ready, we can start. All You Can Eat. Is that the name? That was a cool little video that I filmed. Unfortunately, it's a little too long for my current blog entry that I'm trying to put up, but I'll post that whole individual interview separately from this. So when I load this one up onto YouTube, I'm also going to load that one, so there'll be 2 updates very soon. Something new, I wasn't wearing this hat before, but I realized that in every single one of my clips I had on that RPM hat. So I decided to change things up a little bit. I'm wearing my Puma hat now, and I'm doing it Sanjay Dutt style. Sanjay always keeps his hat a little cocked to the side, so I'm representing Sanjay, the player from the Himalaya right now. Unfortunately, I'm trying to keep these videos under 10 minutes. I don't think anybody could sit through listening to my boring voice anyway. So I realized that I only really got to one question in that video there. So unfortunately, I'm only going to get to one more so that I can keep this video under 10 minutes. But have no fear, because I won't let the next blog entry take this long. Unfortunately, due to circumstances like staying at the worst hotel ever, this one is going up a little late. So, my last question that I'm going to be answering is, whose decision was it to get rid of you from TNA, and do you ever see yourself going back to TNA? from Joey, and Joey didn't write where he was from. It's a two-part question. So the first part, whose decision was it to get rid of me from TNA? I do know that I don't believe it had anything to do with the person who actually called me to inform me that I was being let go. And I don't want to talk bad about anybody, but I'll just put it like this. If you own a company or a business, anything like that, where you are the owner, it is yours. I like to think that nothing happens in that company or in that business without it falling on your table first. Whether somebody else came up with it, somebody else thought of it, it goes through the boss's hands no matter what. So I feel that even if it wasn't the decision of that boss, it had to come through that boss's hands. And unfortunately, the boss at TNA is Dixie Carter. So, I mean, one can only assume that since it had to go through the boss, like everything does in a business run by somebody or a corporation or any kind of anything owned by somebody, it goes through the owner's hands first. So I can only assume that this went through Dixie's hands. So, I mean, in some way, I feel that the decision had to be agreed upon by Dixie Carter. So, I mean, I kind of feel like if I was wanted to stay, the boss would have had me stay. Unfortunately, due to business decisions, which I am not, what's the word? I can understand. I can understand business is business, and I enjoyed my time at TNA. I don't have anything bad to say. Second part of that question was, do you see yourself ever going back there? I mean, in the wrestling business, we have the golden rule of never saying never. But, unfortunately, at this time, TNA, as much as I loved it, as much as I enjoyed being a part of that family, as much as they have given me some of the greatest moments of my life, it is now a past chapter in my book, and I look forward to the future. With that said, I'm going to leave you guys. Hopefully, it won't be too long before my next video entry. And I hope you guys still stay subscribed. I'm going to put a little credits page at the end. Some people ask me to credit some things. And if you got anything you want to credit, any kind of... I noticed I do wear hats. I'll in the credits, I'll put my P.O. box if you want to send any merchandise for me to get out there. Or if you want to give me suggestions on hats or cool things you saw out there to wear, write it to me at thelethalj@yahoo.com, and I'll see you guys later.
Music is running through my veins, flowing like a river. I can't live without it, kinda like my liver. It's what I do to get by, kinda like a stripper. It's what I do to get high, quitting gives me the shivers. I do it in my sleep, then when I wake up, I'ma do it till I die, till my eyes stay shut. Music is the pretty girls I make up, the shake butts. I get my kick up so I could afford it, to write my life on paper and then record it. I tell it one track at a time so you absorb it. Pure emotion flooding my heart, the words pour it.